Hello there, lovely. Welcome to this tutorial. My name is Bianca Mackenzie and I'm an online marketing and social media strategist. And in this video, I will show you how to create your own beautiful looking Facebook advertising images. And I'm not going to go into any difficult design tools. I'm going to show you how you can do this for yourself by using Canva. Now, before we dive in, I want to let you know that if you want more awesome tips and tutorials on how to set up your own Facebook ads and how to prepare your ads for success, head on over to my free Facebook ad prep school by going to bit.ly/FB-prep. This will get you into free Facebook ads prep school where you get 3 videos on how to set up your ads for success. Now let's head on over to Canva to design our own beautiful looking ads. And you can do this all by yourself at home. So head on over to Canva, and I'm actually using a free Canva account, and you can do this totally for yourself. So head on over to canva.com, make yourself an account if you don't already have one, and you can see at the top here that you have a lot of different design templates that you can choose from. Now for the Facebook advertising image, you'll need a proper Facebook ads image size. So Facebook gives you these guidelines on what size your image needs to be. Now for Facebook ads, you need to use an image size of 1200 pixels by 628 pixels. And none of these templates actually do that. So Facebook posts are smaller. So you need to head on over to the Use Custom Dimensions. Click on that. And then you need to type in what your dimensions are going to be. So it's going to be 1200 pixels by 628 pixels. And over here it's already selected in pixels, so you don't have to change this. If it says something else for you, for example millimeters or inches, make it pixels. So 1200 by 628, and then click design. We're going to do a number of different ads because you can basically set it up however you want it. So on the left hand side in Canva, you'll see your different templates. So this is a photo grid, this is the photo grid with 2 images. It has all sorts of different styles. The first one I'm going to do is I'm going to use the photo grid. Now, as you can see, it's completely blank canvas. So you can either go over to elements, text, background, or uploads. Now, the background, you can choose a number of different backgrounds, and you'll see Canva has an amazing range of images. So if you do not have your own images, Canva has beautiful images in here that you can buy for $1. So it definitely might pay off to search from over 1 million different images. So if you typed in a search for what you were looking for, I'm sure Canva will bring it up. I'm going to use my own images just because I do have my own images, but by simply clicking on an image, it'll paste it right in there. As you can see, it has the Canva watermark over there at the moment because you need to pay to be able to use it. So I'm actually going to delete that right there. So I just clicked on it and hit delete. I'm going to use my own images, and you can use whatever images you want to. So the first image I'm going to use is this one. It has a lot of white space. Now with designing images for Facebook ads, it needs to stand out in a newsfeed of your target audience. So it comes down to really knowing your target audience, knowing what they would click on and what their eye would be drawn to, and that could be a number of images. So for example, this one is very sort of in muted tones, but if I clicked on this one, that's obviously a completely different style image. So know your ideal client, know what would stand out in their newsfeed and what they would click on. I'm going to delete that top one. As you can see, it's not in the right dimensions. So I can hold the corner and actually drag it out. So I'm going to move it up a little bit. There we go. So there's my image placement. So I'm happy with that. Now, obviously, you could leave it just an image and use that and put all your text and all of that in the Facebook ad section when you put in your ad itself, or you can overlay it with text. Now, to do this in Canva, just to do text, is quite easy. You literally head on over to text and you click on text. I clicked on add heading and that adds text. Now, some of you might be familiar with Facebook ads and know that Facebook had a limitation of only 20% text overlay of the full size of the image. This has been lifted, but I recommend that you still stick to it because Facebook actually penalizes you if your image is text heavy. Now, what this 20% means is that this entire image is 100% and no more than 20%, and that's usually quite a small section, is allowed to be covered in text. Like I said, it has been lifted, but since your ad won't perform as well, I definitely recommend sticking to that 20%. So you've got to really think about what you are going to put in your text. So as you can see, it's highlighted, so I can completely type over this now and change this text. So let's say so this is getting slightly too big now, so I'm going to resize this just by using the bar at the top. And I wanted to go on different lines. Usually if you make the size smaller, like with this stretch bar, it'll figure itself out inside the box. Or you can obviously put your cursor somewhere and hit enter and it goes to a different line. I also don't want it to go centered. So at the top here, you can choose it to not go centered. Now I want to add a subheading, because that's pretty much what I'm trying to do. And again, I don't want it to be centered. At the moment it's black. Facebook, what normally stands out in Facebook is anything that is in the opposite color spectrum to Facebook's blue. So if you think of the color wheel, anything in the opposite spectrum is usually reds, pinks, oranges, so anything completely on the opposite side of Facebook's blue. You could use it black, you could use your own brand colors. So pretty much this is how you put text overlay in a Canva image. I'm going to change this font. So as soon as I highlight that box, I can choose a different font. Canva has a lot of different fonts. Now I would not use more than 2 different fonts in a design. I'm not a designer, but I do know that if you mix too many different fonts, it doesn't quite look right. So let's use that one. And then I want to use a bit more of a playful font for this one. Does that one look okay? No, don't like the look of that. So you can just play around. If you have your own fonts, so you know your fonts, you can actually upload them if you use the paid version of Canva. So I'm using the free version of Canva, so I can't actually do this. But if you use the paid version of Canva, you can actually, it's called Canva for Work. You can actually upload your own fonts and your own colors. If you don't have the paid version, you have to constantly keep on changing this. So for example, I could make this all pink if I wanted to, so that could stand out. The other thing I could do is I could put an element behind it. So for example, I could go to shapes, and really, like, I'm doing this pretty quickly. You might get a little bit sort of woozy from how quick I do things. That's because I've been playing in Canva quite a lot already. I've been using Canva for a while, so it really comes down to just playing around with it. So I just made that pink. Now what you can do is, as you can see, it's over the text. You can arrange it to go to the back. Now I really need to make my text white, otherwise I can't see if it's actually gone above it. So that one I also make white. Yeah, there we go. That one still needs to go further to the back. There we go. So yeah, you can send it to the back. You can copy it. You can put transparencies on it. Like, so for example, I could put a transparency over that if I wanted to. So that's really nice. For example, if you put it over an image and you still want to see a little bit of the image, you can put a transparency on it. I don't really need it for now. So I'm going to put that there. Then I'm going to move that down a bit. So it all comes down to just playing around with what you want to do and what you want it to look like. So for example, so if I click on the plus, I can look at the color wheel and create different colors. So for example, if I wanted this to match more with that, I can sort of play around with that. There's a lot of things you can actually do in Canva. I might leave that there like that for now. I'm going to add a new one. Now it copies the image on the back straight over. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to choose a different layout. So I'm going to use this 2-image layout. And I'm going to put another image in here. So let's see if I can drag this image straight in there. Yeah, okay. So if you double click on that image with the cloud in it, it gets selected and you can drag something else in there. For this one on the right hand side, I actually just want to put, oh that's okay, puts in a background color. I don't actually want an image to go in there. I just deleted the whole thing. I'm trying to delete the image on the side. It seems to not want to do it. That just puts it in the background. So I'm going to have to move an image in there. That's not exactly what I wanted. Okay, now I've got it fully selected. Let's see if I can delete it. Okay, so in this version you would need to put in 2 images. That's not what I was trying to do, so I'm going to delete that, which is quite useful. If you just want to delete it and start over, hit that little delete button right here. There it is, gone. Let's add a new page. Okay, add a new layout. I don't think I can actually choose. So all of these have images in it. So we'll just start again. I'm going to put the image right in there. So what I want to do this time is I'm going to put an element on the side here. And I'm going to have the image right next to it. So as you can see, the image is at the back because I put that in before I put the element in. So I'm just going to use the same colors. You can upload a new image if you want to. Okay, that didn't work. Sometimes it actually overlays the image, sometimes it doesn't. I'm quite quick to just work with whatever works. So now I need to put that to the back and I can move that sideways. So whatever works. Sometimes it, like if you drag it in there, it takes the right shape straight away. Sometimes it doesn't. So figure out what works. I'm going to go with the pink. So here you can create an image that is a bit smaller. This works really well if you wanted to, for example, put an image in that is not horizontal but vertical, like a portrait photo. You can play with it that way. And now what you can do, you can either add one of these texts. Canva also has pre-prepared ways of putting in text, for example, like in boxes and all sorts of fancy shapes, colors, stamps, the speech bubbles, things like that. So you can definitely play around. Just remember, don't go over that 20% text, because that's not what we want. So if I click on that, it'll enter that in for you. So I can make that smaller. Maybe a bit too small. Let's make that a little bit taller, a bit bigger. So there we go. Let's make that Facebook ad design. And because the shape is already preset, the text will just shrink itself to however big it needs to be. So now I want to write wow, I did not intend for that to match so perfectly in size, but so I did. That's great. It's probably going to change when I change it to a different font. There we go. That's what I want to use. So I need to make that a little bit smaller so it fits on the one line. There we go. And then I want to add in Canva. So it's basically just adding bits and pieces of text, elements, other parts. The main thing to know is that you can just, well, that's not the main thing to know, but you can drag and drop things. This is probably going to be a little bit too big when I want to put this in Facebook. The main thing to know is that your image needs to stand out in your ideal client's newsfeed. So it's important that you know your ideal client very well. You need to know what they like and what they would potentially click on. It needs to be very clear what your offer is. So in this case, you know, I'm making an ultimate guide to Facebook ad design in Canva. So you need to make that really, really clear. You don't have to put text on image. You can just use an image. If you think that your ideal client is going to stop scrolling their newsfeed because of this particular image, then just use an image. You don't need to use text. It's also important to know that things that are in the opposite spectrum, on the opposite spectrum of the color wheel, so let's head back here. The the color wheel, anything on the opposite spectrum of the blue, so you head into your oranges, your reds, even your pinks, sometimes your greens, but greens is closer in what it looks like than the other colors. That stands out. It tends to stand out in Facebook news feeds because, as you can imagine, Facebook, everything is blue, like it's blue, 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 and like a little bit of grey. So anything that sort of goes completely off off the blue chart, it stands out in Facebook. So if you can use colours that stand out, try to do that. Also, keep an eye on like text colours on top of other colours. So I'm making this all white because it just looks a little bit better. There we go. Rather than having everything black on pink is still, it's all right. You can read it, but it's easier when it's white on pink. So just keep an eye on your colors. And then when you're done, so let's say, like I would normally create 3 to 5 different images, like different styles. These are completely different styles. I would keep them a little bit more similar, but the style is different. Like in terms of like the colors are not like in the right sort of tones, but the style is different. So this is a complete image with a tiny little bit of an overlay. You could, for example, get rid of that and have this in a different color. So let's just go black. So that could be one of your images. It's a different style than the one down here because it's got the bigger color block. You could make one, for example, let's try another element, like with a circle behind it. I'm going to just do this really, really quickly. So for example, let's choose that color again. I would make the text white, but you could put like a big circle there, add your text in a circle. So any sort of visual differences that you could make, that I would try to do. So for example, I would have one with a circle, one just an image with text over it, one with an image with a big color block on the side. You can create another one where, let's pick another image. For example, let's make that bigger. So that could be your image. And then you could make a complete overlay, for example. So I'm literally going to go completely over this image so you can't see it anymore. And then I'm going to pick a color and I'm going to make it transparent so you can see the image through. So the image is sort of in the background, and then you can put text over it. And you can put that in the middle or anywhere else, wherever you want to. So try to like make different styles and use your own brand colors as much as you can with different images, but try to make different styles. And I would create 3 to 5 images so that you can test them against each other. Now to save it, sorry, not Facebook, Canva saves it straight away. So it gives it a name. If you want to rename that, you can literally click on that name, you can rename it and then click done. I'm just going to leave it like this, and then you hit download. All you need for your Facebook ad images is to click image for web JPEG. You can do it really high quality if you were doing it for print or anything, but this is for Facebook, this is for the web. So you want images for the web because the higher the quality, the bigger the file, the longer it's going to take to upload, and it's really not needed. So simply hit image for web, Canva will start preparing your images and you can download them to your computer. And that's when you can use them for your Facebook ads. So that is it for this tutorial. I'm pretty excited to start seeing your beautiful Facebook ads. And remember, if you want to know more about having success with your Facebook ads, head on over to Facebook Ad Prep School. In that, you'll also get other tips on how to make your Facebook ads successful by preparing them properly. So thank you so much for joining me in this tutorial, and I can't wait to see you in prep school, and I can't wait to see your beautiful ads online. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.